Good evening. Welcome to this edition of Northeast Diary. Here we bring you the latest developments from India's unexplored Northeast region. Friends, today we will take you to the beautiful snow-capped region of Arunachal Pradesh, which is home to a famous tourist destination, Malinitan. We will also head towards Manipur and learn about the sacrifices made by heroes during the Anglo-Manipur War of 1891. The Rotary Vocational Service Excellence Award is an award designed to recognize individuals who have surpassed expectations for exemplary vocational service. These are people or employees who have demonstrated the attributes of going above and beyond to serve others with a positive and willing spirit, and showed leadership and an ability to motivate others in pursuit of excellence. A report.
In Mela, the Rotary Club of Orchid City, Shillong has conferred the Rotary Vocational Service Excellence Award 2021-22 to 4 individuals who have excelled in their service towards the betterment of the community. Hoki Kharumnuit is one of the 4 awardees who have rendered 3 decades of voluntary service for traffic regulation in Maulai Stanbas, Shillong, while Nicholas J. Karnami was also felicitated with recognition for his service towards maintaining a green and clean Meghalaya, and Dr. Bhaskar Borgohain for his excellence in the medical service in the government sector. Another award winner was Sidalin Marbanyang, a First Lady Entrepreneur of the State for manufacturing sanitary napkins. Meghalaya Governor Satyapal Malik, while giving away the awards in a function held at Raj Bhavan, Shillong, stated that a commitment to serving the whole community, particularly the less privileged, should be recognized and praised. The works done by Rotary Club Orchid City, Shillong since its formation in 2003 towards humanitarian project is worth mentioning, he added.
Rotarians are known for their passion for community service. They have performed well to serve society through their notable humanitarian projects like polio eradication, disaster management and others in the field of education, health, sanitation and hygiene. Safe drinking water, women empowerment, youth leadership, peace and conflict resolution, and public awareness highly commendable. I am glad to know that Rotary Club Orchid City, Shillong, since its formation in 2003, has been undertaking several humanitarian projects in and around the city of Shillong, making a difference to the community, especially for the less privileged and deprived sections. It is indeed delightful to know Rotary Club every year recognize and award individuals from different fields. Such recognition and appreciation definitely go a long way in inspiring and motivating others.
Congratulating the awardees, the governor expressed hope that the prestigious recognition will be a great milestone, which will only encourage them to share their skills and knowledge for the betterment of more and more people. This is Rustam for Northeast Diary from AR News, Shillong.
Sikkim Health and Family Welfare Department organized a block-level health mela from the 18th to 22nd of this month across the state to provide basic healthcare services to all and to create awareness about various health and welfare schemes as well as disease prevention. Our correspondent has filed this report.
The block-level health mela in Sikkim organized as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav under the guidance of the Union Health and Family Welfare Ministry covered 28 blocks in the state. It touched all primary and community health centers to provide a platform for a bouquet of health service free of cost and enhance awareness about different schemes and programs. State Information, Education and Communication Officers from the Health Department, Sonam Ji Bhutia, speaks about the initiative.
Health and Family Welfare Department, Government of Sikkim, organized block-level health mela in 28 blocks as a continuation of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav under the guidance of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and it was organized in all the PHC and CHCs. And in the program, we created many unique health ID under Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, and we were also able to provide Ayushman Bharat card under Ayushman Bharat PMJY, the insurance card. And during the program, we also put up some exhibitions on various topics, especially on non-communicable disease, communicable disease, and Eat Right campaign. Many doctors and specialists, including Ayush doctors, also saw the patients and distributed free medicines. And counseling sessions on various topics were also held, wherein many students and the community people came for counseling on mental health, alcohol cessation, and tobacco and smoking related issues. So we were able to give them counseling on lifestyle also. And apart from that, various departments also participated, and many departments helped us. And one of the culture department, and they put up some stalls and exhibition on the theme provided through ACAM, and they also held storytelling sessions for the students present there, and there were also nutrition demonstration from the Anganwadi workers. The nutrition inspectors were also present, and all the other departments also helped us. And from the information and broadcasting, IPR, PIB, All India Radio and Doordarshan, they also helped us. And even the Panchayati Raj Directorate, Urban Development Department, the local municipal corporations, the Education Department, Youth Office and Sports Department, and our own Health Department's program cell, they also helped us in doing the program and making it a grand success.
The 4th anniversary of Health and Wellness Day was also observed with a virtual program during the statewide program. With Saikat Sarkar, this is Diliram Dulal for Northeast Diary from AIR News Sikkim.
The ambitious Agartala-Akhora rail link between India and Bangladesh is set to be completed by December this year. It was announced by the Union Minister of State for Railways, Rao Sahib Patil Danve, who visited the state last week. A report from our correspondent, Reena.
Sri Danve said that in the line of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's plan of extending the rail network in the entire northeastern region, Tripura has a significant place in it. He said that about 60% of the projects of connecting state capitals by rail have already been completed, and the rest is likely to be completed by 2023-24. The Union Minister said,
अभी ये जो रास्ता है जो मैं देखने आया, ये दिसंबर तक मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि पूरा हो जाएगा। तो बांग्लादेश इंडिया का जो आना जाना है ट्रेन से वो बड़ा सुविधाजनक होगा, और कलकत्ता को जाने के लिए जो हमें समय लगता है, यहाँ से एक पूरी होने के बाद 22 घंटे हमारे कलकत्ता जाने के लिए बचेंगे।
During his visit, Sri Danve also inspected Nisintapur station yard of the Agartala-Akhora rail link, where a passenger and cargo terminal to facilitate international travelers are under construction. Railway officials said that the station yard, equipped with modern amenities, will serve the purpose of Indo-Bangladesh trade along with transshipment facility of goods and passengers. Once the ongoing rail link project is complete, northeastern region will be connected with Bangladesh via Tripura through railways. This is expected to give trade, commerce and economic activities of this landlocked region a much desired boost. For Northeast Diary, this is Reena Nongmaitem from Agartala.
India is the largest user of groundwater in the world, using more than a quarter of this available global resource. To address the problem of groundwater depletion, the Union government, guided by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, launched the Jal Shakti Abhiyan in 2019. Here is a report from our correspondent from Aizawl.
Works under Jal Shakti Abhiyan are gaining momentum in rural areas of Mizoram. Works are also in full swing under the Jal Jeevan Mission. Currently under the Catch the Rain campaign, a steady progress is being noticed in the state. Catch the Rain campaign has instilled a zeal among the people and the functionaries in creating appropriate rainwater harvesting structures with people's active participation. Talking to AIR News, Superintendent Engineer of PHE Department, Mr. Lal Ropuya, highlighted the success under Jal Jeevan Mission.
Jal Jeevan Mission changed the lives of rural people in Mizoram. Earlier, they used to fetch water from distant sources, and the quality of which was not up to the mark. With the implementation of JJM, villages can now have better quality water in their premises. Due to the hilly terrain and soil porosity, the surface runoff is very fast. Therefore, particularly in Mizoram, we need to take more remedial measures to sustain the water sources. For this, the Jal Shakti Abhiyan, which aims at catch the rain when it falls, have huge impact for the sustainability. The village population are also mobilized to protect their water sources for future.
Officials said Catch the Rain campaign has given excellent results in Siaha district, which has created a good number of water storage tanks. Individual households are also taking higher participation in terms of rainwater harvesting. Officials said the rainwater harvesting campaign is being organized periodically by the PHE department to train villagers how to capture, store and reuse rainwater. Officials added that as Mizoram lies in the southwest monsoon belt, it gets ample rainfall which can be stored for future use. With this, the PHE department is engaged with the task and has been creating water storage tanks, semi-dams and ponds in villages for storing rainwater. For Northeast Diary with Subhashis Tanda, Irene from Aizawl.
Arunachal Pradesh is undoubtedly one of the most beautiful states in India. The snow-capped mountains, its pristine natural beauty, along with the medieval structures and monuments scattered here and there, presents a tourist with an unending scope for exploring the state. The Malinitan in Lower Siang district of Arunachal Pradesh is one of the most famous and religious tourist destinations among the Hindus. A report.
Malinitan archaeological site is a protected area and consists of ruins of a Hindu temple of the early medieval period. It is located at the base of the Siang Mountains at Lekavali town in Lower Siang district of Arunachal Pradesh. The archaeological studies of the ruins indicates that the temple was built with granite stones during the period of Hinduism influence in the region. It was built by Sutiya kings in the 13th-14th century. This was the period when the Sutiya kings had started setting Brahmins in different areas of their kingdom, offering them land grants. There's an intriguing story associated with the name of the temple, according to which Lord Sri Krishna loved with Rukmini, the daughter of King Bhismaka of Vidarbha, and then travelled from Bhismaknagar to Dwarka. During their journey, they stopped at Malinitan, where they were given a warm welcome by goddess Parvati and were presented with garlands made of flowers plucked from her orchard. Lord Krishna was so much fascinated by the scent of a flower that he addressed Parvati as Malini, meaning the mistress of garden. That's how the place got its name, Malinitan. As per another story, the image of a female without head was unearthed during the excavations, which represented Malini, who was the lover of Lord Shiva. The image of the goddess Durga found here is known as Papune, an ancient name of the Divine Mother. At the time when the temple was in excavation process, 4 sculptures of lions on 2 elephants were found. The granite sculpture of Indra riding his mount Airavata, Kartikeya riding a peacock, Surya, the sun, riding a chariot, and Ganesha mounted over a mouse, and a large Nandi bull were also found here. There are some erotic sculptures to see too in different postures, which means that at the time when the temple was in making, Tantrism prevailed here as a fertility rite of the tribal people. This holy place of worship is visited by a large number of pilgrims every year. Besides pilgrims, Malinitan also has a few interesting trekking and hiking trails to the Siang Hills, which also attracts tourists to the place. For Northeast Diary, this is Rakesh Dole, AR News, Itanagar.
Today we bring to you an interview with FBB Colors Femina Miss India Nagaland 2018, Miss Roop Fujano Vizo. The interviewer is Wabongla.
Hello listeners, we are very privileged to have with us Miss Rufujano Wiso, Miss Kohima 2017, Miss Nagaland First Runners-Up 2017 and Femina Miss India Nagaland 2018. First of all, Miss Wiso, thank you so much for your time and
thank you so much, glad to be here.
So to begin with, how did it all started for you? Was beauty pageant something that you always wanted to do or somebody, encouraged you?
I have never really thought about beauty pageants for me because I was a very shy, awkward kid growing up. But when I was 18, my sister came home one day and she said, there is Miss Kohima going to be held. Why don't you try? Because they believe that if a person had a tall height and if they could speak well, they could obviously do well in beauty pageants. But I was still very unsure because I was a very insecure kid back then. But my mother said that, why don't you go ahead and try? In this world, there is many different experiences and it will be very difficult for you to, after you finish high secondary or college, it might be very difficult for you to interact with people. So I want you to take this opportunity and, meet more people, learn more. So everything started from there. Miss Kohima happened. A month after that, Miss Nagaland happened. And 3 months after that, Miss India happened. So it was all, one after the other. But looking back, it was all for a reason because beauty pageants helped me to, find myself, to get out of my shell that I'd always been in. So it was such a wonderful experience that I'm always thankful for.
And also, at such a young age, looking at someone with lots of potential in the field of fashion industry, are you optimistic about taking this as your career or are you reluctant?
I started really young and I didn't know what I was going in for, what beauty pageants were, what modeling were, and what I would have to go through to actually excel in this field. And I have always been grateful for the opportunities that came to me. Modeling was something new as pageants were, but if I look at it, modeling is obviously a really good thing, but if I want to excel in modeling, one would have to go to bigger cities where there is a bigger demand for models, where there are more qualified or bigger designers who would ask for more models. So those were all different kind of challenges that one would have to go through. But as I'm going through modeling, it makes me, want to see more and more because I've just, touched a small part of what the modeling industry is about. I'm blessed. If it's meant to be, I would love to pursue modeling as a career.
And, competing in beauty pageants at any level, it can be very stressful. So please share some of your experiences going outside the state representing Nagaland and how you overcame your fears and succeeded.
Things at a national level is really different from what I experienced when I was in Miss Kohima or Miss Nagaland because the competition, the atmosphere, everything was different from what I had expected, and I was obviously very unprepared because it was my first time going to Mumbai to participate in a big pageant. There were so many expectations, and sometimes, when I wake up in the morning, I would feel like I wanted to break down because I was just a small girl from Nagaland, from Northeast, and all the other girls had, been so qualified. They had traveled the world. Their stories were so beautiful. They were starting charities. They were opening different charities to help girl child and everything. So it was a moment for me when I realized that I was so unprepared. Going through those things made me, realize that there are so many things I could learn, and those girls, the ladies there were so helpful. They never made me feel any lesser. So it was such a beautiful moment because all the girls from all the states of India came together and we were such a united family. So even years after it has happened, I look back and all the girls are still there. We keep in touch. So I think the most important part of what Miss India was for me and what I learned was sisterhood and the ability to, see what people were doing and how I realized that I was lacking so many things. So after I came back, I started looking at myself and I always wanted to improve because I don't want to judge myself. I want to judge myself doing well in India, doing well globally. So after I complete my college, I'm thinking of, becoming braver and, seeing how it goes.
Good to know that. And we also wish you all the best for your future endeavors as well. Do you think that, the field of art like fashion and designing and artists are neglected here in our state, unlike other places? What could be done for this industry in general so that the talented youths could be encouraged?
A few years, 5 years or 10 years back, fashion industry was very low and it is still not reached its peak here. It can't even be called an industry in Nagaland itself. And we are having lots of qualified designers, qualified models who are coming out and representing Nagaland, like Catalina Kense, like Kenny Aomi, and all of the beautiful ladies and the men like Opang Jamir who are representing us beautifully. But I do think that we do have a very bad opinion when it comes to the fashion industry because when parents don't encourage their kids to be models, but it can, be improved. And Nagaland, if you think about it, has a really vibrant culture. It can be incorporated into lots of fashion designs, and there are also lots of qualified people out there, tall people, beautiful people who are really qualified for the fashion industry, people who have unique features. But I think that Nagaland has a huge journey ahead when it comes to the modeling industry, and one thing that I would like to encourage everybody to do is, support the people. If your child wants to be a designer, help them, encourage encourage them. If your child wants to be a model, encourage them, because you never know what could happen with a small encouraging hand. The mentality needs to change, and it's really changing this generation, but I think that we could go farther.
How important is it for the society on gender equality?
We are living in a modern era where gender equality is, we can see it all over social media, we can see in posters, we can see it in conversations, but it doesn't seem to sink into us that what gender equality means is equal pay, that a child has every right to go to school regardless of whether she's a female or a male, and a female has every right to sit in a decision-making party in a family. And you can even see that in villages. Women are in kitchens cooking, while men are deciding the future. So we obviously know the concept, but it hasn't actually sunk in to many of us that gender equality must exist. And this generation, I've been saying before, we have seen a lot of equality where more girl childs are going to school, where we are given more education, but it still exists. Because in a family, if a male is there and their parents can afford it, they will choose to send the boy to a college or to higher education because they believe that the boy will take care of them. However, if you look at it, the girl child is more likely to look after their parents rather than the boy, because the boy has started a family. A lot of people are still very traditional, and there's nothing bad in being traditional because it is a part of who we are and an identity. But I think that it's time we move forward to, a more open-minded place where we give more opportunity to girl childs. We didn't look down on them. We didn't, underestimate them. I think that gender stereotyping also affects men as well, because it pressures them to do something that they don't want to do, and it also pressures girls to do something that they don't want. So I think that the concept has to sink in, that everyone is equal.
Very well said. As a young independent woman, what are some of your observations regarding the inequalities that women are suffering from today?
Marriage. Because when a woman gets married, she's expected to give up everything. She's expected to give up her home. She's expected to even give up her name. When a lady is forced to leave her home, the relatives will come and say it's your fault that your husband could not stay faithful to you. So you have to go back, take care of your children because it's your duty as a mother. More cases have come out that men have more power, that regardless of whether a woman's cheated on or whether she's beaten domestically or whether her child is suffering, she has to stay at home, keep her mouth shut while the husband has mistresses. And this kind of unequal treatment that is given to man and women is always seen as something that can be taken for granted. It is taken as a given. The man is the head of the family and a woman is expected to stay at home, look after their children regardless of what the man is doing outside. Let's not always look at what has been done before. Let's think about what is right, what is wrong, because we are all, humans that are functioning moral compasses. So I think that all of us can, look to change something.
So lastly, is there any message that you would like to give to all the listeners?
I once heard one of my friends saying that her boyfriend wanted her to become thinner. I wanted to say that you're beautiful. Don't let anyone believe or make you think that you're any less. If you have roles on your body, love the roles on your body, because it is who you are. And if they can't love you for who you are, then they are not worth loving, or they are not worth your love. If someone judges you because of your skin, whether you're dark, whether you're light, whether you're tall, you're short, or you're thin or fat, it is who you are. And then a lot of us want to change who we are. We want to bleach our skin to become lighter. But I think it is important that you accept yourself who you are. And I know lots of people tell you this, but believe me, love yourself. Thank you.
Friends, our nation is a land of gallant warriors, and our forefathers made supreme sacrifices for the independence of India. We pay homage to the martyrs of the country who fought against the invaders to protect the country's sovereignty. Manipur, a small state of northeastern India, has a long history of struggle for independence. In 1891, Anglo-Manipuri War broke out, and the warriors of Manipur fought against the Britishers in many battles and made supreme sacrifices. Every year, Manipur pays homage to the martyrs of the 1891 Anglo-Manipuri War on the 23rd of April as Kongjom Day. The day was observed at Kongjom War Memorial Complex of Taubal district. Our correspondent has filed this report.
1891 Anglo-Manipuri War, the British Army advanced from three directions. The British column advanced from Tamu direction, made fierce fighting from Manipuri at Khongjom village of Thobal district. Many great warriors of Manipur lost their lives in the battle, and remembering their supreme sacrifice, Khongjom Day is observed on 23rd April every year at Khongjom War Memorial Complex of Thobal district. Manipur Governor La Ganeshan and Chief Minister N. Biren Singh led the public in offering tribute to the martyrs of 1891 Anglo-Manipuri War this year at the Khongjom War Memorial Complex. The observance begin with a girl salute at the memorial site and samadhi of Pauna Brajavashi, Manipuri warrior who sacrificed his life during the battle. A large number of people turned up at the site to pay respect to our martyrs this time. Floral tributes were paid and Tarpan offering were held at Khongjom River. Artists also sang Sankirtan and Khongjom Parba during the observance. Manipur Governor La Ganeshan graced as chief guest in the formal observance. He praised the sacrifice made by our forefathers and said that it should always be remembered and honored. He appealed to the younger generation to follow the footsteps and dignity of our forefathers. Sri Ganeshan said that
our forefathers, they fought against the British. One of the greatest person whom we have also offered our salutations. What for he fought? The land, the people in the land, and particularly the cementing force is the culture. For that, sacrifice his life. Normally we do tarpan to our forefathers. Here we did tarpan to that gentleman, that great hero. Everything is religious. Everything is traditional. Everything is cultural. So Manipur is an example, I can say. Nobody can say Manipur is entirely different. Manipur is part of Bharat.
Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh, while delivering a speech at a function, announced that the historical site of Khongjom, particularly Tengol Lampak, where Manipuri built up fort in Khongjom battle, will be beautified and upgraded soon. He said that the call of nation first given by our leader should always be followed. The observance concluded with a play based on the Battle of Khongjom. JJ Thokshom, AIR News, Northeast Diary, Imphal.
Now, let's listen to this beautiful Adi folk song from the beautiful state of Arunachal Pradesh. With that, we have come to the end of this edition of Northeast Diary. Do join us next week to hear some more stories from this enchanting part of India. Bye-bye. This program was presented by Anuja Kumar, scripted by Suparna Saikia, produced by Sharmila Goswami and assisted by Kamlesh Mudgal. It was brought to you by the News Services Division of All India Radio.